we should do? We should make a sequel to a really awesome surprise nugget of a horror film and not even connect it to the cliffhanger ending we did in the first one. Ha-ha! What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Bobby. Thanks for coming back for some more popcorn. Sorry it took me a couple days to get this video out. I just had some other things I had to do. But I saw Don't Breathe 2. And while it was enjoyable, I just have to say right off, it was a letdown. Mainly because it had an extremely high bar to reach with the first one. Now, Fede Alvarez directed the first one, and him and Rodo Sayugus wrote it. They both wrote the second one, but this time around, Rodo's directing it, not Fede. And the direction was actually really good. But with the first one being so awesome and such a surprise horror film with a really cool plot, and then on top of that, we had this twist at the end that nobody even knew was going to be in there. No one saw that coming. And if you haven't seen the first movie, go check it out. It is phenomenal. Stephen Lang's returning in this one as the same character. And if you guys don't know the first one, it's basically just these kids are trying to break into this house, and they don't realize when they're breaking in, there's this blind man in there who's an ex-Navy SEAL, Stephen Lang. And real quick, I want to talk about the ending of the first one, the twist of the first one. So spoiler if you haven't seen the first movie. But with the way that twist was at the ending, they had every option to give you a reason why he would have a daughter in this movie. So in part 2, the whole plot is that he has this daughter and he's trying to get her back from some kidnappers. But here's the thing. The reason that you think that he would have a daughter, which is what the twist slash cliffhanger is in the first one, they don't even use that to why he has a daughter in this one. So it's just kind of like, y'all just made up something different so y'all could just make a movie? And even with the twist that's in this movie, because there is a twist, there had to be, there was one in the first one, still could have connected it to the ending of the first film and written that somehow to make it work. But when I say it doesn't connect to the first film at all, I mean, it doesn't. The only thing it connects to is it's the same guy. Stephen Lang is the old blind man. Now look, the movie's well done. It's well directed, all that's there, but I found the plotline to be kind of like, why'd y'all go this route? Y'all had the whole setup that y'all did in the first one and you didn't even use it. Which is why this movie slightly didn't work for me. There was no real reason for the story to be told. Like I said, everything they set up at the end of the first one where you're like, oh, gone in this one. No connection whatsoever. And to me, that was a bummer. I wanted to see something continue from the first one to where it really felt more intense, more in depth. But this totally felt like they wrote a story so they could make a sequel. Now look, there's lots of nerve-wracking situations. There's this awesome kidnapping scene in it, because that's what the movie's about. He's trying to get his girl back. The kills are really brutal. They do some cool stuff there, but honestly, it's not really upping the brutality from the first one. It only just ups the kill count. And they do some cool things with the plot to why there would actually be more people there for him to kill. But the whole time you're watching it, while enjoying the intensity and the kill scenes and all that, you're just kind of like, what's up with this plot? Why'd they go this way? And then there's the twist. Now you're just kind of jumping the shark a little bit. And like I said, it didn't connect at all to the first one. So you still get the twist, but it's not as good as the first movie's twist. And they're trying to confuse you emotionally by making you feel sorry for the guys, making you have empathy for them, and then making you hate them all at the same time. The villain and the hero, or Stephen Lang's character, if you've seen the first one, he's not necessarily a good dude, but they're kind of making you feel sorry for him and root for him. But they do the same thing with the other guys that he's trying to get. It's just a little kind of like, all right, guys, why are y'all doing this? The first movie, I loved every second of it. I believed it. I felt bad for what was going on. It just worked way better. This one just didn't feel like it needed to be made because they didn't even use their own setup from the first film. And yes, Stephen Lang's a badass. Of course he is. He's a badass at everything he's in my opinion. And this movie wasn't even unenjoyable. If it would have been just sort of its own thing or the only one, like a guy's daughter got kidnapped and this is what he's going to do, that would have been really cool. But it's a sequel to a film that was already just unbelievably good, really surprising, and the twist was just one of the best twists I've ever seen in a movie, honestly. This one didn't hold up to any of those accounts. It wasn't good, and in my opinion, it didn't need to be made. And there's some things that start going on that are like explosions, all kinds of gunfire in the middle of the city and neighborhoods and stuff, and it's like, hey, where is everybody? Ain't nobody hearing this shit? All in all, it was still a fun ride in the theater. It wasn't near as good as the first one or as surprising as the first one. They just couldn't recreate that lightning in a bottle they had with the first one. But it's still fun to watch for the kills and the horror scenes and all that stuff. And Stephen Lang's a badass, so I give it a C+. but there was definitely no reason to make it. And honestly, the way it was released only in theaters at this time probably didn't make any money either. Well, that'll do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and make sure to tune in during the week, every day, Monday through Thursday at 1 o'clock. I do a live streaming show just about a bunch of movie news and chatter, everything coming to the big screen, at home to stream, and all the shenanigans going on behind the scenes. Look for Bobby Williams on Facebook. Look for BrassReel Brothers on Facebook. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some